Santa Claus here. Are you looking for the perfect Christmas gift for that special someone? Well, look no further than tpublic.com/user/caging-greatness. They've got all the best Nicolas Cage-related merch. And perhaps you have a favorite co-host. Well, they've all got merch too. Make my job a little bit easier and get some great stuff for that special person in your life. Again, that's tpublic.com/user/caging-greatness. And don't worry about how many cookies they bribe me with to do this ad. Merry Christmas.
It was a good time for sure. You know, everybody should go back and listen to it.
Yeah.
Yes, the episode of the Cameo game on All You Can Hear.
Yeah, the one
show comes out.
Not this show.
No games at all be had on this
Yeah, because we're totally recording.
No games, all prizes.
Actually, we're gonna have a game in a couple weeks. We got the impression game coming up after Leguizamo Day.
This is true. So excited.
Yeah. Here on Jonathan Eating.
Yeah, here's some ASMR for you folks out there.
I don't think that quite. Oh God! Stop.
No, there's a lot of There's a lot of pressure. We have a live studio audience tonight.
We do actually have an audience tonight.
There's a lot of goddamn pressure on us.
No, I never did expect that this would be the first live installment of any show on the AYCH network.
Odd. You know, like we're moving on up though, because like I was telling you guys earlier, here on Caging Greatness, the show where we discuss the films of Nicolas Cage about half the time, and also how Thomas Jefferson is a massive prick. We've looked into some stuff. We've talked about getting a Patreon, and I keep meaning to look into that. But you know, their app is fucking awful.
Yeah, the app is bad.
The app is ass.
Yeah.
Maybe just do an OnlyFans. I'll start off naked, and people pay me to put my clothes on.
Or just use the site instead of the app.
Yeah, no, that would work. We did do the Cameo game, and I looked into getting a Cameo. I was curious.
Yes.
And if we pooled all of our followers together between All You Can Hear and Caging Greatness, we are only 19,800 away from qualifying for our own Cameo. So
there's a prerequisite to joining Cameo.
Yes, they don't just let any old asshole on there.
Well, my goodness.
If I can sweet talk the almost 1,000 that I got back into that cannon guy army on Twitter, we will have slightly more than we need.
Look, I think what we can do is we can just ask Tanner.
It's a start, at least.
It's a start.
We asked Tanner to ask his 45 million friends that he apparently knows everyone in the
Tanner is very connected on Twitter.
Get him to just signal boost. Like if everyone follow, we don't need him to actually care. We just need him to follow long enough to get us signed up for.
I love how we're just like, please, Tanner, can you do us a solid and just sort of like beg and scrape and bow your famous Twitter friends to like.
We promise to stop shit talking you for at least a week.
I make no promises.
As long as it's serviceable to our needs.
We promise to stop publicly shit talking you for at least a week.
Oh no, but I call some shit talk back because y'all are shit talking me on his episode.
Yeah, he started that though.
You know what? I continued it. I didn't tell him to stop.
I mean, I didn't say I never said it.
Yeah, because I know there was some conspicuous editing in that episode.
There were two bits of editing. Okay, one.
Oh, you tell us what was edited out.
I would love to tell you what most of the editing was, but Tanner would be genuinely upset. It was hilarious at the time, and I stand by everything I said about his Twitter history, but he didn't want...
That's a bit for the boys.
Yeah. So, these things happen. It's part of the All You Can Hear lore now.
Yeah, the secret lawyer, only we can have access to.
That's right. Anyway, on today's show, we actually do have something to talk about.
It's not Nicolas Cage.
It's not Nicolas Cage.
You know, because it's been almost a month since we talked about Nicolas Cage. You know, because I once said, don't worry, guys, you'll get at least one Cage a month. And now who has egg in their
To
face?
be fair, this month has been pretty squiffy for scheduling.
Yeah, this is our one mulligan. We get 1 month where we don't get Cage.
Right, because we had December 2nd scheduled as an open day, which we had to then move Leguizamo Day to.
Yeah.
So, stuff got moved around. We're going to get to it on like December 8th, I think. So I think it's Leguizamo Day and then Trapped in Paradise and then the game that we're playing. And
then one more Cage and then...
and then the Cagies.
Yeah, our year-end award show.
I'm so excited that we're doing our award show.
Yeah,
that makes me very happy.
And that reminded me to write down and solidify the rules for the game we're playing, which is a thing I remembered to do in the shower last night and totally forgot by the time I got out.
So, yeah, it's
you were practicing impressions in the shower and you thought of rules, didn't you?
No, I just thought of how we could actually make it a game.
I'm kidding.
Oh, yeah, we're doing the impressions game.
Yeah, we're doing the impressions game.
Friend of the show, Joe, is foaming at the mouth. He is ready for this game.
He's been waiting for a long time.
It's going to be fun.
And don't worry, Joe, your patience will not be vain. We will get to it.
One of the things
soonish.
I thought about, because it's a weird squiffy way about getting points and whatnot, but I thought, when we'll talk about it more, but the basic idea is going to be whoever draws the impression, you want somebody to guess it because you get a point, and whoever guesses the thing gets 2 points. That way you don't sabotage everybody else. Because if the first person to guess it correctly gets the points, then there's no real incentive for the person doing the impression to do it well. Because I'm like, la da 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 da. Who was that? That was Arnold Schwarzenegger. No, the fuck it wasn't. You're just cheating. So I'm working out some kinks, but I think I got it pretty well settled.
He's putting a plan together.
Right, but today we're actually doing Cannon's birthday episode.
Happy belated birthday,
It's
Cannon.
been a long time coming.
The day of the recording, several days after his birthday. The day of the release, even more days after. But we're doing it.
Yes, it's finally here.
Cannon.
Yes.
I'm going to introduce everyone, like always. To my right, Jonathan.
I'm here and I'm shitting. I just took the first solid shit I've had in quite a while, like about 5 minutes ago. So
Yeah, no, there we go. It's a normal.
Like there's literally still toilet paper hanging at the back of their pants.
Just like DDP in this movie. And of course, to Jonathan's right.
Oh, hello, it's pile driver Pat.
Advancy. And then the birthday boy.
Who better than Cannon? It's that Cannon guy, and we're not sponsored by them, but Wendy's has a damn fine jalapeno popper spicy chicken sandwich.
I finally tried their new fries.
Yeah.
They were very good.
They were really good.
Very good.
That crisp game is on point now.
Like seasoned well. They were delicious.
Mm-hmm.
So for today's birthday episode, I'm going to turn it over to Cannon, and he's going to tell everybody what we watched and how much he loves it. And then we'll do our rating system and whatnot, and we'll do our normal thing. So Cannon, if you would.
Well, happy birthday to me. I got to show everybody the 2000 classic Ready to Rumble, starring David Arquette, Scott Conn, Oliver Platt, and so many former WCW alumni. Just WCW wrestlers all over your face, neck, and chest.
Well, it's almost as if the movie was made during an episode of Nitro.
That'd be silly. Talking crazy.
Perish the thought.
But a little bit of history as a shock to no one. Huge wrestling fan. We're all wrestling fans here.
What?
Wrestling, never heard of her. And WCW was an interesting situation in the year 2000 as someone who grew up, started watching wrestling in 98, and a couple of years later, shit just hit the fan, but not in a good way, if there even is a good way to use that analogy. But this little movie came out, and little me saw it in theaters, and I mean, when you're young, you love everything, and Honestly, not much has changed though. But before I get into the nitty gritty, this is the moment I've been waiting on.
Moment of truth.
I want to canvass the area, and Pat and Jonathan had not seen this movie before.
Nope.
First time.
With that being said, this is the first time you had seen it in about a decade or so?
About 10 years, yeah.
All right. I'm going to start off with you then. What did you think of
We got
Ready
some
to
finger
Rumble,
gun
Shim?
pointed at you there, Shim.
How weird is that finger? All right.
Bang.
Oh, God. Oh,
Well, there you go.
okay.
No.
The audience is pointing a gun at us.
I feel like I am under duress.
I did not agree to audience participation in getting guns pointed.
Oh, help, I'm being repressed.
So it's been about 10 years since I've seen the movie.
Yes.
And, back then, when the death of WCW, the slow, agonizing, ridiculous Russo death was still raw. Not raw, like money.
Whoa.
I didn't look fondly on this movie. I loved little cameos. I always thought it was interesting that John Cena's in the fucker too. But I didn't like it. But rewatching it now with some distance from the emotional pain, because I was a WCW guy, absolutely was. Right up until Sting won the title at 7:15 on the Nitro night and lost it at 9:20. That's when I stopped. It was the same night The Rock turned face against Shane McMahon and left the corporation.
Lloyd, that seems really familiar considering we watched the night before.
So
it was Survivor Series. It was 2021 Survivor Series.
And apparently it was terrible.
They were just stroking that nostalgic cock for The Rock all night long, teasing the tip like he was going to show up. And guess what happened? He isn't fucking there.
He's not even in the country.
No, and he didn't even acknowledge it, the history of the date. And anywhere he was talking about cheat meals on Instagram.
Incredible.
Roll Tide.
So the point is, I didn't like this movie then. Rewatching it after the first time in about 10 years, God, it's so fun. 4 stars.
Wow.
There are a couple bits that are problematic.
Yeah.
As most things.
A movie that's 21 years old doesn't age gracefully.
Wait, you mean they don't erase the bad bits? Holy shit.
I honestly...
No, this isn't the Peacock.
I'm excited to see how this level of problematic stacks up against the Pest. I don't think he's gonna be close. Pest is worse. I am like 98% sure.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, because at least this was endearing. I don't know if the Pest is going to be charming.
I'm excited for you guys to watch it. It's terrible. But no, I enjoyed this very much. Even David Arquette's manic cocaine fueled performance. I said 4 stars.
It really hadn't been that long since I'd seen it, and even I keep forgetting how fucking psychotic David Arquette is in this movie.
Yeah,
he was insane. But I also love it. It comes full circle in a way.
Yeah.
So, oh God, here we go. Now, Jonathan. Oh man. You know what? I'm not even going to be upset if you just hated it. Or if anyone hated it, I knew going in. I was like, look, I know what I'm in for. Okay. So that being said, Jonathan, give it to me straight, man.
All right.
Straight shooting.
Straight shooting with cannon. Pew pew.
TM.
TM.
TM, CR, all that.
But before. Oh, wait.
I honestly don't know how I feel.
You do this to me a lot.
Because, this movie has a reputation of being one of the worst movies ever made.
And it is terrible.
I'm not going to mince words. It's not good by any means, but I think, putting it next to, I don't know.
John Carpenter's Vampires.
Yeah.
I still don't get why that's a meme, but continue.
Because it's terrible.
I know.
Oh, God.
But I don't know, so.
I just... Because there's a lot I found really enjoyable. Because this movie is like taking crystal meth. It wasn't even about 5 minutes in. I just announced to everybody, I'm like, David Arquette needs to be in jail.
You did say that several times throughout the film. Yeah.
I love you, David Arquette. I love
A whole variety.
Or let me rephrase, say that David Arquette's character, not like David Arquette himself.
Gordy needs to be in jail.
Gordy definitely needs to be in jail. Like the thing is like everyone else is kind of like at that like late 90s, early 2000s sex comedy sort of character. And then like David Arquette is channeling his Tom Green from Freddy Got Fingered.
Oh, wow.
And this movie is kind of like a really toned down version of that. And Freddy Got Fingered is fucking cinema. It is a masterpiece. I will not be told otherwise. I will not be silent.
Watch it. If I look on Letterboxd and Freddy Got Fucking Fingered has a higher score than this,
Don't worry, I'll look.
no, don't do it. Don't do it. I don't want to know.
Are you going to dox Jonathan on air?
No,
I don't have either of these people
I know.
traded yet. But right now, because I will say, like the first half is a lot stronger.
Yeah.
Than the second half, and I will probably get into that because like towards the second half, my eyes were kind of glazing over. But yeah, I'm kind of sitting like 2.5, 3.
Okay. All right. I was like super interested because like someone who probably has like, besides like the videos that you've probably seen and us talking about the late days, the dying days of WCW.
Yeah.
And then you're like, holy shit, they also made a movie. All right. Pile Driver Pat.
That's right.
What we got?
I'll put you through this table.
Oh, wow. Well, let's move the computers first.
This table is not that sturdy.
No, it's not.
I mean, honestly, I don't know how long it's going to stand up just with regular pressure on it, let alone a human body. But anyway, this movie it hits a weird thing with my brain. Like, I was not watching wrestling at the time, but I was sort of just culturally assaulted by wrestling. And because like, you know, this is around the time I was in like elementary school, 4th grade, so everybody I knew was in wrestling. So like I have all these like, oh, I recognize that person, even though like I wasn't cognizant of who they were until much later, now with adult vision and hindsight. So it has a really like warm like spot because like, oh, this still is really nostalgic for like the late 90s, early 2000s. So like, oh, this the whole movie is filmed like an ad in a Nintendo Power magazine from 1998.
This movie is the most 2000s movie to ever 2000.
Because there's literally one scene where David Arquette have a fucking Mountain Dew bottle held in front of the camera when he's just mean mugging it. God. But to the actual movie itself, it is but the fuck insane, and it's like this. It doesn't know like what it wants to be. It feels like it wants to celebrate wrestling, but it's also like making fun of wrestling, not in a tongue in cheek way, but also making fun of wrestling fans. It's like I don't know what its point is because like it's very conflicting in that regard, but I had a fucking blast with this movie. Like, I was hee-hawing throughout this whole fucking ride. Like, and it's unhinged, and I feel like I have to give it 4 stars. Because, like, it's, like, in every, just, like, critical way, a failure of a film, but goddamn, is it just an entertaining ride to hell?
I will say, now that I've seen it, Criterion, make this part of your collection, you cowards.
You see, this episode of the show is also my campaign to get the 4K Blu-ray restoration happening. We got to get the ball rolling, okay?
Pat, we gotta remember to tag all of these people when we.
Oh no, I made a list.
Oliver Platt, David Arquette, the young Bucks, Tony.
I wrote them down on that pen pad in front of you.
Oh my God! Wow, I am actually shocked. Well, like I said, I've seen this movie many times. I wore it out as a child. Again, granted, I knew. Even as a child, I knew WCW was in a bad place back then. Just watching, I was like, this is terrible. And like, that's when I transitioned from, flipping the channels to just like straight up watching Raw. And Could never watch SmackDown because who the fuck had UPN?
I actually had UPN.
Really?
I had UPN.
Holy, what? Was I the only motherfucker that didn't have UPN back then?
I'm sorry. There's actually kind of a town meeting. We need to exclude the Cannon Jr. over there.
That's so hurtful.
Didn't you live in Mississippi at the time?
Yes.
I mean, that could explain it.
Yeah, they said, Mississippi, you're not getting Channel 2.
But
I'm too young to remember.
Yeah, see, back in the day, My 68 was actually called UPN.
it's like
It then became at the CW.
Because the WB and My 68, they had like a merger, and now it's the CW.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Television history, everyone.
yeah, the more you know. There are just so many like small nuggets in this movie that even as a wrestling fan that I appreciate. Just like the scene where King and Paige are having their first match and they're calling their spots and stuff like that. All the in-house terminology that they use. I mean, it's a wrestling movie. Of course they have to throw that shit out there. And again, it is such a product of its time. There's a scene where literally David Arquette, who was the spokesperson for 1-800-COLLECT, was using a payphone that had the 1-800-COLLECT logo on it.
CALLATT. Got it. Well, that's a throwback. Although I more so remember Carrot Top doing the Call Collect commercials.
Yeah, he was on. You know what this movie, like the whole aesthetic, reminds me of?
What's that?
Have you guys seen Harold and Kumar Go to White Castle?
Of course.
Yes.
You know the dudes in the Jeep that scream about Mountain Dew and Doritos?
Yeah.
That's this movie.
This movie.
I don't agree with that, but okay.
Pat can agree with me on this. This was our hometown. Like all these characters were fucking Brookwood, Alabama.
Yeah.
Yep.
Because I couldn't quite figure out where they were. It's just like nondescript podunk town.
Well, the trashy parts were supposed to be in Georgia, I think. Atlanta, Georgia, like outskirts of Atlanta.
Yeah.
You know what? I'll take somebody's word for it.
Most of this movie is supposed to be based in one of the Dakotas because, strangely enough, that's where Bischoff's from, who was not in this movie.
But he was planned to be, but then he got the can.
Gordy's hometown, they're in Wyoming, Lusk, Wyoming.
Oh, not Dakota, Wyoming.
And then
Close enough.
Yeah, King is from Georgia, and then the main fight was in New York. The main fight was one of them was in New York.
The first scuffle was in New York. Then the final actual one's in Vegas.
Yeah. But yeah, there are bits here, there, a couple of lines of dialogue that are, not so nice in today's era. But what can you do? That aside, this movie has so many wrestlers that I grew up watching. Some of them actually got lines. A referee got a fucking line in this. Old Charles Robinson.
Lil Nate?
I don't think calling him Little Nate is a good thing anymore.
Well, definitely not. But that's the only thing I knew because I forgot his real name.
Yeah.
Or his name.
No, I think it's actually Charles
Okay,
Robinson.
that's his real name?
Yeah.
Not a shooting it?
No, I'm pretty sure that they've only started recently gimmicking their names.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
But when is the eyebrow ref from WWE going to get a movie?
Probably never.
You know what? Solidarity with all the very iconic referees. Aubrey, we're gonna make something for you.
I mean, when they make 12 rounds 4, they'll probably cast him. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe as a henchman or something. I don't know. I mean, fuck it. I mean, we're gonna talk about this movie. I'm giving it 4.5. I know it's not a good film. However, this movie just makes me feel good. It's stupid, and I put it in the same ballpark as a Hot Rod.
Yes.
Yeah. No.
Yeah, I think it's around like the same level.
Yeah.
Hot Rod.
But yeah. It's like I said, like it probably doesn't deserve a 4.5, but my heart says 4.5, and that's what I'm giving.
I mean, we talked plenty of times of like, the objective quality of a film, if there can be such a thing, and then like your enjoyment level and how that could supersede like the critical level of it.
Yeah. I even shocked myself because I showed this to Liz a couple of years ago, and she did not enjoy it.
Not an unexpected result.
I mean, I didn't expect her to enjoy it, to be honest. So, But as it being a product of, I guess, wrestling lore in a way, I wanted to share it. And it being like one of my most fun watches ever. Like tonight, I was actually shocked at how much fun I had watching it again.
Like, honestly, one of the things I enjoyed the most was you and Pat reacting to it. That was my favorite part.
I mean, that's my favorite thing about any situation where we're like, we just group watch something and just people just react like, no, ma'am. I just like, what?
And I fucking knew you were going to love it. I didn't want to say anything, but I knew it had just enough pee-pee poo-poo for you to just fucking have a ball with it. I knew it.
God.
I fucking knew it. Literally shit dripping while they're
fucking eating lunch next to a dripping pipe of shit water.
And I wouldn't even qualify that as water. That was just sludge.
It's just straight doo-doo.
That's sewage.
I just want to give like a quick synopsis of what this movie actually is, and then we can just like talk about whatever the hell we want. These two guys, Gordy and Sean.
Yeah.
Sean.
Yeah.
Ends up getting one of the best names ever. But anyway, they are huge wrestling fans. They go to a WCW Nitro to see their favorite wrestler, Jimmy King, and it's a double cross backstage because the boss of WCW, named Titus Sinclair, is like, you know what? We're going to pull a screw job on old King, and DDP, it's your time. We're going to give you the belt. They beat his ass up. He's downtrodden. He's fucking flat broke now. And then the two fans, Gordy and Sean, they want to get him up. They want to get him back on that high horse, get him that strap back. So they sneak him into another Nitro. And then that leads to a big match with them at the MGM Grand in Las Vegas. And by God, let's talk about how we got there. Oh my God.
God.
It's like we fucking start off with Dookie.
Yeah, no, it's just
because they are porta potty people.
Yes.
They clean out
porta potties and
it's a septic cleaning.
The opening scene takes place in a fucking truck stop where Gordy is just sucking down this sugary drink and is in a sugar coma and starts daydreaming about standing up to the dickhead store clerk that's there, played by Zappa. It's Frank Zappa's kid, right? Yeah.
Is it Dwezzle or whatever?
I should know this.
They all have like weird, funky names.
I know Moon Unit Zappa, but I don't know the others.
I have IMDb on my fucking phone pulled up.
Yeah.
Oh, y'all want to know a weird fact?
Sure, why not?
Apparently, me making the connection between this and Freddy Got Fingered is not. They're not too dissimilar because David Arquette's character and Tom Green's character are both Gordy.
Huh.
Shut up.
No.
That's
interesting.
That is interesting. Ahmet Zappa. That's what it is.
yes. That's shockingly normal for Frank Zappa.
And I might be wrong, but you know that "We Will Rock You" remix. I guess I believe he was behind that.
Could be. Let me look.
I actually owned the soundtrack. I bought the soundtrack. I had the CD. A lot of Kid Rock on that CD.
Oh yeah.
I do think it's funny that we watched this on the day that apparently Kid Rock had released the new music. And a great tweet I saw was that Weird Al saying, hey guys, that new Kid Rock feature, that's not me pretending to be Kid Rock. That's actually Kid Rock. Thanks for shouting me out though.
It's like a fucking SNL bit.
Okay, so the We Will Rock You was actually DJ Hurricane and Scott Wayland.
Oh, never mind. I was way off. I know Ahmed Zappa did a song on that soundtrack.
Weasel Zappa did the Diamond Dallas Page theme for this one.
Okay, so maybe his kin did a song on the soundtrack. Somebody with the last name Zappa did a song on that goddamn soundtrack.
Might be. It might be the same. I'm looking again. This is Wikipedia. Let me look.
But I just want to talk about the fact that
there's different Zappas.
Cool. That
They were both Zappas though.
we got one of the greatest scenes in movie history, and I will not hear any hooting and hollering about it otherwise. This motherfucker, in his dream, there's a poster board cutout of Macho Man and Gorgeous George from WCW at the time. And then they just start yelling at each other. There's a lot of glare coming off of that dome of yours, anus breath.
I actually fucking love that line. That sounds like a canonism, honestly.
Yeah.
That sounds like something you would say.
And like it slowly starts to turn into an actual wrestling match because the clerk, his shirt, all of his clothes turn into actual wrestling gear, and then the cutouts of Macho Man and Gorgeous George actually become the real life counterparts. And this movie turned a store into a wrestling ring or a ring into a store. It doesn't matter. How do you do that? Movie fucking magic. That's how you do it.
You know what? It's a great setup for a gimmick match that I'm honestly sad that we didn't get.
Supermarket sweep these nuts. Like, are you kidding me? Just like shit was falling off the shelves. It was great.
Destructible environments, that's what people want. AEW, you got a game coming out. Put that as a DLC.
Closest thing was probably that Stone Cold Booker T grocery fight.
Which is still great. I still watch that.
And Booker T's also in this movie.
Oh, yeah, he is.
Star of Ready to Rumble, Booker T.
Same with Prince Iokea.
Yes, and Van fucking Hammer.
And Disco Inferno.
If you're confused as to who these people are, don't bother looking them up.
Not worth it.
But oh my god! And this is also, I mean, we see it in the blooper reel at the end of the movie. In this scene, at least in one of the takes, Oliver Platt, who plays Jimmy King, who pops up in this Daydream, accidentally real life hit Macho Man in the face.
Yeah,
legit. And oh man, I haven't like looked up any stories or anything, but oh my god, I'm surprised the man lived.
Yeah, no, that was very kind of Macho to let him not.
It's either that or he just didn't feel it, or he was safe because he didn't look like Hulk Hogan.
Yeah, no, he just probably just like, oh, Hogan did this, damn it.
You look like me, man. You got the black hair and the beard. I really appreciate it.
Hey, Cannon was really striking hard in his face to make that Macho Man.
Well, you got to.
Well, I mean, fucking Macho Man always looks like he's having a goddamn aneurysm.
You have to do the face to make the voice right.
I mean, I know that's part and parcel. I was like worried until like the sinews in his face would start ripping.
And so when Gordy gets snapped out of it by his friend Sean, notices, hey man, you sucked down all the drink. What if I wanted some? He goes, oh, it's all right. I'll get you another one. Proceeds to they take a bit from Mallrats. They take a Kevin Smith bit where he just fucking stink palms this dude, shoves his hand up his crack, lets it marinate in the juices for a bit, and then
I don't like the way you said that. No, sir.
It even made a sound when he pulled his hand out of his butt. Did you hear it?
Yep.
It was like,
I don't think
it had to break that vacuum sealed up.
I don't think David Arquette wiped his ass.
He's like one of those guys.
David Arquette's like one of those celebrities who doesn't bathe.
No, he's one of those celebrities.
Yeah, that fucking revelation.
He's one of those celebrities that farts and says, wow, that one's going to itch later. Look at you, Jake Gyllenhaal. Allegedly.
The stinky.
Allegedly, the motherfucker admitted.
He admitted it. What's funny about the stinky celebrity bit? It's like people are sort of like parlaying that. It's like, they're getting the groundswell for getting people used to stinky celebrities. That when the water shortage comes from global warming, these people will still be heroes to us.
That's fucking dystopian, and these people need to go outside and touch fucking grass.
Oh God!
Get offline. Just log off.
This is around the time we meet Gordy's dad, who is a police officer.
Yeah.
Who like rolls up on his friend Sean and pats him down and cups his nuts.
That did happen.
He was just like, what are these? Those are my nuts. He said, don't you wish you were on the other side of this conversation? He goes, well, you want me to be cupping your nuts? I like that bit. I like that line. That was good.
It was so, that whole interaction is so weird and uncomfortable because it never comes up again. It's just this one scene where a dude just
copping a feel.
Just getting a handful.
I mean, yeah. It's just like so many just like... I mean, you see this, there's like so many movies that came out around the same time that just like beat the same joke dead like 1,000 times over.
Yeah.
But, and of course, he He's like, "Hey, Gordy, wrestling's fake." And then we get the idea of what kind of character David Arquette is in this movie. Because let me move the mic back a little bit. Hold on.
Oh.
And when his father tells him wrestling is fake,
Hey, Kent, I'll do. Wrestling's fake.
okay.
Wrestling's not fake.
I like wrestling.
Yeah. I mean, Kenan's not wrong.
I would say David Arquette like shrieked
Like
about
oh my god,
60% of his dialogue.
I really don't think he's playing a character most of the time.
Just see, like,
You're probably not wrong. Like, he's just giving off like mad, like weird kid energy.
Also, we need to put some respect on the name. This is former WCW World Heavyweight Champion David Arquette.
yes,
Yep.
former
That is
WCW
true.
World Heavyweight Champion.
I do see, like, my whole thought process in watching the movie, David Arquette has this energy about him that feels like he was just an insane person that walked onto set that they couldn't get to leave. They're just like, fuck it, we're just going to film the movie with him in it. And everybody just trying to, like, do their part, and he's just, like, hollering.
Pat, that was definitely the amphetamines.
You know, I don't know what sort of substance abuse he may or may not have been a part of, but that could have been all natty David Arquette in this movie. Who's to say?
He's just like, I'm this crazy naturally.
It's like, we're like this all the time.
God, see, like I actually like David Arquette. It's like I always thought he got the bad end of the stick deal with the whole WCW booking thing. It wasn't even his idea. He didn't even want to
I
fucking
agree.
do it.
Yeah, like the way like people get like so butthurt over David Arquette winning. I'm like, come
The
on.
fact that people think that David Arquette winning the WCW World title is worse than fucking Snooki having a pinfall victory at WrestleMania. Snooki has an undefeated streak at WrestleMania, technically. God damn
I
it.
mean, that's not even the worst part of WCW at that time.
Yeah.
I'd argue the finger poke of doom was much worse.
And that was like a
Yeah.
whole year, over
Yeah.
a year before that, right?
Yeah.
I mean, like,
I mean, WCW was going to die.
Yeah, it was already dead in the water
it
at
was
this
a
point.
slow decline. And then, like, David Arquette winning was just sort of like the death kill.
And like,
And then Russo made himself champion not long after that.
yeah.
And like,
yeah.
come on, really that smart? Like, that's less offensive than David Arquette. He was just unfairly made a pariah. And plus, like, he's gone out of his way to like make amends. Like, he donated all of his money, like a lot of his money, like as a champion, as from the movie, to just like just to help stuff and just like get away with it.
Owen's family and Pillman's family, if
Yeah.
I remember right, yeah.
Like he tried his best to make try his best to make good from this situation.
It's like if I remember correctly, I think all of the earnings from his, I guess, WCW shit went to their families. Yeah.
Yeah, I think he split it halfway between the two of them.
Hell yeah, that's fucking awesome. And plus, the I guess documentary "You Can't Kill David Arquette." It's amazing.
I still need to watch
Oh,
it.
my God.
It's a great film.
I highly recommend
Like,
it.
oh my God, this dude. I mean, say what you will about him, he still loves wrestling, and he respected it enough to say, you know what, I want a legit run. I don't want that dead WCW shit to be my final chapter in wrestling. And you know what? Good on him. He wrestled a fucking death match with Nick Gage and almost died.
Yeah.
Literally.
Jesus Christ.
And like he went to Mexico to learn to wrestle, and he earned his stripes. I'd say.
Yeah.
Wrestled on Impact a few times, I believe. Had a fucking main event match against like Mr. Anderson in that documentary somewhere. I mean, I don't know what show it was, but it was a big fucking deal wherever it was.
Yeah.
But we're not talking about that. We're talking about David Arquette in the year 2000. A WCW champion at the time of the film's release, I think.
Right about the same time. I don't remember the exact.
Because him winning it was promotion for the movie, right?
Yeah.
Basically.
Yeah.
Because like if I remember correctly, it was like a couple of weeks after the movie dropped because it was bombing, and they were trying to like get the word out for it. But anyway, these two wrestling fans, they are off to see their favorite wrestler Jimmy King in a match that's not even a pay-per-view. It's not even a pay-per-view. He's wrestling DDP. Mm-hmm. But I smell a screw job.
Or that could just be the gallons of shit water that they're covered in at all times in this movie.
Right.
The whole film has a greasy film over top of it.
I can't even talk about that yet because we got to talk about the shit scene, the shit sucking scene, where he jinxed. That's why Jimmy King lost. Remember?
Yeah,
because he sucked his buddy down the toilet. You see, again, they work with porta potties and they clean, the doo-doo chamber out of the porta potties. And apparently Gordy does this thing where every time Sean has to take a shit, he'll put the vacuum in while he's in there and suck his butt in the toilet.
I mean, that's a great way to give your buddy a pink sock.
But he's like, don't do it, man. Jimmy King's going to lose tonight if you do it. He goes, I'm not going to do it. But he has his fingers crossed behind him and whatnot. And then, of course, he just sucks his butt down into it. But he does get a vertical suplex on the ground for his troubles, which I did read that all of Gordy stunts were performed by the Hurricane, Shane Helms.
Yeah,
and Canyon did the stunts for the movie too.
For the King.
For King. And then the guy who played was Sean.
Yeah, he did all of his.
He did his own shit. Yeah,
I mean, the dude was pretty jacked. Sean's. I have to forget his name right now.
Scott Conn, I think.
Scott Conn.
Yeah, Scott.
I'm gonna say he was a fucking Chad in this movie. Like square ass jaw, just fucking chest out. He was a Chad.
Yeah. I mean, he's got the NSYNC Backstreet Boys haircut.
Honestly, he still kind of looks like that. No shade.
Also, I have to mention this just because it comes up later. Sean is in love with this girl that works at this burger place. And what was her name? Brittany? Yeah. And but there's also another girl there that is really obsessed with Sean, and he's an idiot that just can't realize it.
Also, David Arquette needed to settle the fuck down with him. He was stressing me out in that fucking
I mean, he
drive through, just like hollering like nasty shit.
This is the first time ever I'm very glad we had subtitles on because the way he was like guttural screaming some of those lines, still to this day, some of the lines he delivered, I had no idea what he was saying. So now I know exactly what
I love it as club caption, just like, yeah, David Arquette didn't say this, or this is what the script said. We're just putting that in the CC.
It's like David Arquette did not say the Britney's bare ass buffet.
That was a redub.
But they go to Nitro, and we get a shot of Titus Sinclair talking to Bill Goldberg and Diamond Dallas Page, two actual WCW wrestlers at the time, former now, obviously. And he tells them to finish. King's going to go over. He's going to keep his belt because he has the longest undefeated streak in wrestling history in this universe.
Evidently.
And has one of the sexiest looking versions of the big gold, the big silver I've ever seen. God, it's just all silver and like the world and the words on it are gold. Just
it's a pretty belt.
Which we may or may not see in the house soon because Cannon is on a belt buying streak, so he might just have that commission.
Kenny Omega is no longer the belt collector, and he has to relinquish his belts right now, unfortunately.
Yeah, no, he's got 0 belts now.
Yeah, no belts.
Except like the ones he uses for his pants.
I had technically 2 more belts than Kenny had when he was the belt collector.
Yeah, no, technically.
I didn't have to pin nobody. I had to pay money, but
Yeah, the only pin he had was his pin number to his debit card.
But and then we find out Titus is sick of King shit because he's even late at this point. King's not even there. So Titus goes, you know what, DDP, tonight's your night. Just wait for the sign. I was like, okay, all right, cool. So we get to the match, and King comes out and fucking raps, and it's awesome. You want to see me make DDP my puppet dog bitch tonight? Yeah, and Gordy's just
I can't get over how fucking insane David Arquette is.
Like, he was just shitting his pants the entire movie. Just surprised there wasn't a fucking hole in the back from just all the fucking methane gas he's pushing out. Like, motherfucker spontaneously combust because he's farting so much.
If I remember correctly, I think this bit was like on a sound stage, like they had to recreate like an arena looking scenario, and bravo to them. Like, it was a very small arena, but it still looked like an arena nonetheless.
It
was small but stratified.
It had the quote unquote, and to quote Tony Schiavone here, the blown up cat ass WCW logo that they were using. God, that was the worst WCW logo in the history of WCW.
It was
logos.
bad. It was very bad.
It didn't look like anything. Every time I saw it, I didn't think WCW. I thought, what the fuck is that trying to say?
Yeah. It was not good.
It was not good at all.
So Screwjob, worse than Montreal. Poor Jimmy King.
Poor Jimmy King got his ass handed to him. Not only did DDP and his goons get him, but his own pals turned on him. The King's Court started kicking the shit out of him.
Ugh.
Sean and Gordy are losing their fucking minds. At this point, they're at ringside. They're trying to jump the barricade, right?
Yeah.
It is serious fucking business. And then we see a move that I don't think we see enough of in wrestling, the 4-post massacre. 4 wrestlers, if I remember correctly, it was Juventud Guerrero, Prince Iakea, Bam Bam Bigelow, and was it Van Hammer?
I think it might have been him or Saturn.
I think it was Saturn. It was Saturn, actually.
God,
Yes.
that's a motley crew. And they played Motley Crew.
They all come splashing down on Jimmy King, and he's just pretty much, he's done. Titus Sinclair comes out and goes, "You're done. I'm through with you. R.I.P. motherfucker." Well, he didn't say motherfucker then. He actually does have the one.
He gets the one fuck in the movie. And we should say Titus Sinclair is played by noted character actor Joe Pantoliano.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so obviously Sean and Gordy are upset. They are driving the shitmobile down the interstate, just crying their eyes out. And they end up flipping
These
the goddamn
fucking allergies.
goddamn Sinclair allergies. Diamond Dallas Page. God damn it. And then they flip the shitmobile.
And like literal doo-doo goes flying out of the top of this tank. Like gooshes all over the roads. Like they literally have to have like cops and farmers like sweep up the doo-doo. And then what should happen next? But a fucking 18-wheeler just like, whoa, didn't see this coming. And then like he fucking crashes. Toilet paper shoots out of the side of it. So they're covered with doo-doo and toilet paper.
Because, like, talk about that for just a minute. This movie is fucking Looney Tunes at points. and how, like, wholly unique this movie's tone is, because you got the just wacky Looney Tunes, like the fucking semi fishtailing and running into literal shit as it sprays on people.
Like literally, it's like a Gallagher concert where they just get like tidal wave with doo-doo water.
And like some of it feels mean spirited. All the while all this is happening, this like faux John Williams ass music is playing. Like these motherfuckers hitting that sharp 4. We're trying to get that epicness in the house. Like this is fucking E.T.
See, we're
And I feel like this movie was made by E.T.
we're glossing over the best part. We're immediately after, and first off, I can't call it the shitmobile. That is copyrighted by the Trailer Park Boys. I take that back, boys. I'm sorry. No disrespect.
But we're copywriting right now. TMTMEM, the shit copter.
Yeah. But when immediately after the Dookie truck tips over, and he's like, "Is that raw sewage I'm smelling?" He's like, "Yeah, I kind of always like that smell." "Yeah, me too. Kind of smells like French toast." "What? French toast dipped in shit." And I'm just like, wait, what? What planet does liquid ass juice
Every line
to French toast?
Every line in this movie feels like it was mad-libbed.
I mean, probably was.
And it kind of goes into like how hit and miss a lot of it is, because like to me that joke fell like completely flat, but then there are some moments, and it's not like ironically funny, it's genuinely funny.
Because I remember that specific scene in the trailer, and even then I'm just like,
Really? You put this one in the trailer?
It's like you led with this.
They were saving the good stuff for the theater, bud.
you know, everything happens for a reason, and you got to ask yourself, WWKD, what would King do? Those snazzy bracelets that Sean made for
Those
the both
like
of them.
sculpted leather bracelet.
I'm genuinely surprised you don't own one, Cannon.
I need one.
I feel like you do.
I have a leather guy. I can probably make it happen.
I feel like you should dress up as Jimmy King for Halloween like every year, and I'm shocked you haven't.
Oh my God! Why haven't I fucking thought of this?
Why haven't you?
This
like,
can't be a hard
beard
get up
and
to
the hair. Like,
I mean, I wasn't. I guess I wasn't wrong in thinking our Brett had some canon energy in this movie. Like you can bring it full circle. Also,
this movie is canon energy. That is a quote. Yes.
Write that down.
Oh my god.
I have a banner perfect for it. It has them on it, and it's all stretched in yellow. Just put that on there and just be like, this movie is canon energy. But they decide, you know what? We got to go find the king. We got to get him back. We got to get him that belt. We got to get him back on top, right? So they go on the hunt, and they find... wait, oh nope, I can't gloss over this. They're hitchhiking, and a nice van of nuns pick them up. Mm-hmm. Just the nicest ladies, and who, one of which, oh hell, fuck it, all of them know Van Halen, right?
Yeah, they end up singing along to Running with the Devil.
Had the lighters out as soon as all of them flicked those fucking lighters. I know it's stupid, but it was hilarious. And then we get the scene that, I'm not gonna lie, little me thought this was the funniest fucking scene ever, but this is one of those that definitely fell flat as fuck when I watched it now. When he goes, all right, I gotta ask you a question, and don't lie to me, okay? Swear to God. I know we got all this religion, but you need to be honest with me. How many times did you fart in that van? He's like, none, man. Wasn't me. Swear to God. Wasn't me. Swear to God. Oh my God, they're the farting nuns.
Yeah,
crickets.
That felt like it was like they thought it was a reference to it.
It felt like it was like very pointed, but like it just didn't make sense.
You know what? It kind of feels like how like anime humor doesn't really translate to English all that well.
Yeah,
and so what would be funny in like Japanese, put in English context, just sounds like a non sequitur. Mm-hmm. That's where a lot of like the jokes that fell flat, it felt like lol XD random.
I guess like it's just kind of like the quote inherent funniness of nuns farting.
I mean,
but like,
something
like they should have just like gone with those nuns are disgusting or something, like, because that's at least a failed joke as opposed to what the fuck are you talking about? Those were the farting nut. Like,
wasn't I mean, like unless they're going to pull like a Blazing Saddles bit where there's just like a whole scene of them farting.
No, wasn't there like a property back in the day, something like a flying nun?
Yeah, Sally Field. Yeah,
if that's what they were shooting for, they still fucking failed.
Yeah, I think
I don't even.
Maybe it was like there might have been a joke that got cut out from earlier that it was a reference to, and they just forgot.
But
it's like we have to fill this 60 seconds with something.
But how do you find the king? You find the nearest hacker available, who just so happens to be at this gas station and they get dropped off at.
Yeah.
Played by the Shermanator himself. And I don't have his actual name in front of me. So he played the Shermanator in the American Pie movies.
Chris Owen.
Yeah, that guy.
One of the many characters who look like a third cousin of Benedict Cumberbatch.
Yeah. He doesn't like talking on the phone because talking on the phone is for pussies.
Yeah, doing anything is for pussies.
Yeah, the whole bit for him is like he's a hacker, but also his dad thinks doing anything is for pussies.
And like I love seeing like the very like dated like product placement in the movie as well.
Oh yeah,
yeah, like how he had this very conspicuous bright blue like Apple computer like Apple home setup, and he's just like hacker man. This newfangled thing called the net. Yeah. I can find anybody on the net. He just Google searches his ass.
And then like Gordy is playing with a DDP action figure. It's like one of those like 12 like 14-inch
action
the big
ones.
I had the DDP one actually and the Goldberg one. So I'm looking at the one where it's the king, and I was like, they actually had to make that for this movie. There's no other way around it, right? Or they just like found the nearest Canyon action figure and like dressed him up like a king or something.
I think that figure actually this, and Matt Cardona spent an exorbitant amount of money buying something he didn't really want in the first place, but he kind of felt obligated to do. Like we spent like what $3,000 on a prototype of a Big Boss Man action figure.
Mm-hmm. Oh shit.
Yeah, which he eventually sold because like, oh, this is too much even for me.
And now this is when our lead gentlemen find out that you see, that's the thing. Like, I do love this movie. Don't get me wrong, and I do agree that it makes wrestling fans look like dumbasses. But at the same time, look at today in the modern era, wrestling fans make wrestling fans look like dumbasses.
Yes.
I mean,
So it kind of comes full circle almost.
Time's a flat circle.
because it feels like it's trying to reel in the wrestling fans, but it's like it shitted on them the entire way.
It's trying to be all things to all people.
Yeah.
Because they know the wrestling fans will show up for the wrestling stuff.
Yeah.
But they want regular people to come in like, look at these idiots that love wrestling. This is a funny movie. And it's just doesn't work either way.
Yeah, you can't. It's like you can't have it both ways, and this is probably one of the many reasons why this movie failed.
Yeah, it feels like oddly mean-spirited at points.
It's like
in a kind of uncomfortable way.
Yeah.
Like the main characters, like they're stupid and unlikable and just like annoying. So, but like at least for us, because like obviously it's the reason why this movie is like 2.4 on Letterboxd. Like you can watch this and be like, this is
shocked it's
just
that
fucking insufferable dog shit.
I do have bad news for you, Cannon.
What's that?
I checked earlier. Freddy Got Fingered is at a 2.7 on Letterboxd.
Okay.
I just I'm upset at that.
I'm saying that as a fan of Freddy Got Fingered, too.
Also, the ratings on that one, like the graph they have, looks like a city because it's each main number is at the same level, and then each half star is at the other like a lower level. So it's building, small building, small building.
I guess
Really weird.
I guess in like retrospect, because especially in WCW in this time frame, because I mean, if they didn't know what they were doing, they were just either blind or just stupid. Because I thought the point was for them to get eyes on their product, and at this point, it's already been like maybe a year and a half in the making that they are just like shit in the bed constantly, weekly. At this point, that's when they just lost the war.
Well, according to IMDb, because I looked it up, some of the trivia, this movie released 2 weeks before Russo gave himself the title, that's where they were at the time. So yeah, no, they were not making good decisions.
Yeah, but like I guess like me. Obviously back in the day when this movie came out, I was still a fucking kid. And I didn't really, get the whole, this movie's like poking fun at wrestling fans. But at the same token, like as a wrestling fan, this movie doesn't upset me.
Yeah.
Like I'm not mad at it. Does it do things that, a little coon style? I'm like, yeah, but I mean, it's like I didn't make it. We didn't make it.
But somebody made it.
Somebody made it. Who's the director again? What has he done, actually?
Actually, I looked that up.
Yeah, that'll be a good thing to look up while we take our commercial break.
Okay.
We're right at that time. So enjoy this Christmassy message.
Uh-oh.
And we'll be...
No.
This man has an itinerary.
Oh, I'm excited for this. Yes, enjoy this Christmassy plug for our merchandise that none of you ever buy. And we'll be right back.
Look, I don't know what I'm doing. I was told to do this or I'd be fired, and I really need this job. But look, I'm an elf, and we're overworked, and the boss man said that you need to go to tpublic.com/user/caginggreatness, whatever that is. I just want to go back to making rocking horses, but they moved me to the Jack in the Box section, and those springs are really hard to get right. So could you guys just go buy some shirts or something from these podcasters that gave the fat man all those fucking cookies? Seriously, just buy a shirt. It'd make my Christmas a little bit better. All right, it's tpublic.com/user/caginggreatness. Just buy a sticker or something. God, stupid.
And welcome back to this birthday episode of Caging Greatness, where we're discussing Ready to Rumble. Cannon, I believe we left off with the worst screw job since Montreal.
Yes, but breaking news, a fan just fucking attacked Seth Rollins on Raw.
tackled
Jesus
his ass.
Christ, it's everywhere now.
Yeah, I love breaking news 4 days later.
Oh, fuck yeah, I forgot. This shit comes out days later.
To us, it's like 30 minutes.
Yeah.
So that's fine.
But anyway, yes. At this point, we've seen the dookie. We've seen the toilet paper. Gordy and Sean decide we are going to find the king. But before we go on, What else? Who directed this movie again,
The
Pat?
director of Ready to Rumble is Brian Robbins.
Okay,
And this is his filmography.
Why is that name familiar?
We have 1995's The Show, which is about it's a hip hop documentary.
Yeah.
Next, we have 1997 Good Burger.
Good Burger,
That's why-
really?
Oh
that
fuck!
name.
I see one on your iPad. Oh god, no.
We have 1999's Varsity Blues.
Yeah.
That makes sense. Two people from that movie are in this movie.
Yeah.
Then we have Ready to Rumble.
Okay.
Then we have the 2001 baseball drama flick Hardball, starring Keanu Reeves.
I never saw that.
Where he teaches inner city kids the goods of baseball.
Right.
Then we have 2004's The Perfect Score, which is like this hacker con heist movie.
He's a big fan of hackers.
And then we jump to 2006, which is the Tim Allen remake of the Shaggy Dog.
Oh no! This man's career.
And then
It's not over.
we have 2007 and the cinematic classic Norbit,
Oh God!
followed up by 2008's Meet Dave,
Oh no!
and then lastly 2012's 1,000 Words.
Please tell me he's been stopped.
So that's his last one so far.
Okay.
So basically, this man is part responsible for the end of Eddie Murphy's
He spent 12 years torpedoing his own career.
Oh man! So confirmed. Ready to Rumble's his best movie. No,
I think
no. There's a couple in there. I actually like Varsity Blues.
I think Varsity Blues is technically the best at 2.9.
I think we can all agree that Good Burger is the best.
Welcome to Good.
Oh, yeah, you're right. It's actually at a flat 3.
Well, there you go.
But Varsity Blues is number 2. But
And then Ready to Rumble, I assume.
We're like rating his movies now. Ranking them.
but don't worry.
The filmography of Brian something.
Robbins, yeah.
Robin.
But while we do
But Shaggy Dog was his worst movie.
Okay.
so we're hacking. We're finding out where the deeds
By
about
hacking, just
Jimmy
being
King.
fucking Google.
Yeah.
Because these dipshits can't turn on a computer.
To hacksaws.
It's like what was the website? Like Hackers Way or some shit.
HackerNet.
I don't know.
Hacker
Something
Man.
stupid. But and through this they end up meeting the Queen, Eugenia, and
Played by Caroline Rhea, who you might know as Aunt Hilda from Sabrina the Teenage Witch.
yes, this is correct.
And she also had her short-lived talk show in the in the 2000s.
Holy shit, she had a talk show?
Yeah.
Holy crap.
Guess what? It didn't last. I think it was after Rosie O'Donnell had her show, and then it's like, we need another funny lady to take this TV spot in the daytime. And you know what? Spin a wheel. We got Caroline Rhea.
But and oh god, this is where this isn't the first nut shot. This is one of many that we've get in this movie. There are a lot of dick kicks
Like
in this
5
movie.
of many at this point.
Just like the sound they make in this movie. It's like literal like walnuts cracking. It's like
It sounds like when in Jackass where they kick somebody in the nuts with their bare foot.
Like, honestly, there's a bit.
oh wait, the kicking didn't happen then. I'm skipping ahead. God damn it. Sorry.
There's a bit in Dragon Ball Z Abridged by Team 4-Star, who are huge wrestling fans, that I have to believe is at least halfway inspired by this movie, where in one of the movie dubs they do, Vegeta keeps getting kicked in the dick. Just over and over and over and over. And at one point he goes, why do they keep kicking me in the dick?
Well, before I keep, fucking up my shit here, they meet the wife and the kid, and, they find out that Jimmy King is kind of a shithead. He, skipped out on the wife, been skipping what? Alimony payment?
2 years for alimony, child support, dental
Yeah.
bills.
Yeah, his grown-ass man of a son.
Has the, one of the biggest teeth you've ever seen with, one of the biggest braces. I don't know.
Also, the man has a butt crack that starts like halfway down his back.
and
I just have a high butt crack, y'all.
but this is still
That man was split in half.
This is still one of my funniest bits of the movie is when they meet the parents of Jimmy King, and then they start telling them where he's gone and whatnot, and he's like, "Oh well, no, I beg to differ. You see, he didn't drop out of school in the 10th grade. He worked really hard in high school, and when you died in a plane crash, it's like he worked really hard in college and he supported you while carrying 2 jobs." And then Dad's just like over it. I'm gonna kick your ass, freak. The fact he's like, when y'all died in a plane crash, I love it.
That was a good bit. That was a genuinely good bit.
Fun bit of trivia: the guy who played Jimmy King's dad is actually David Arquette's father.
Really? I didn't know that.
Louis Arquette.
Yeah,
Hell yeah.
yeah. So yeah,
That's neato. I
yeah,
like that.
It's fun stuff.
So Jimmy King borrowed their mobile home and is just set up shop somewhere, and he is dressed up in a dress, some sunglasses, and a wig. And they see their hero in this state, and they're like, what's going on? What is happening? That can't be Jimmy King. But it is. And they have to ultimately end up paying like a $30, $5 personal appearance fee because they're like, hey, just 5 minutes with the king. How much money you got? $30 per personal appearance fee. You go in, and I love how Oliver Platt apparently is the best at playing just like a drunken buffoon, because this entire movie it's just drunken buffoon. Like he's always in a state of like he just woke up after pounding 2 cases of
I mean, he pounds beer this movie.
People have been sleeping on Oliver Platt for a long time. The dude's great.
He is great. Like y'all mentioned Lake Placid earlier.
Lake Placid, he was great in. He's also one of my favorite voice acting bits from one of my favorite video games. He was in SSX Tricky, along with David Arquette.
Ooh.
Oh my God! Look what his most recent film is, John.
What is
What is his most recent film?
What is his most recent film?
The Charlie Kaufman movie. I'm thinking of Ending Things.
Yeah.
No. Okay. But
That movie's depressing as fuck.
in this scene, he's basically telling the fans like it is. Like, look, it's just a show. Wrestling's not real. I'm just a guy that got fired. I'm not a king. I'm just a dude playing a character. He's basically telling him what wrestling really is. And then they're just like getting disheveled. And then he does kind of get a little mean at times, like calling them names and shit like that. But, it's like to drive the point home, I guess. And right before they leave, it's like, how can you be phony if we believe in you?
To be fair, though, with the 30 minutes we've spent with these characters up until now, none of those names really seem that out of place. Because these dudes are, like, they're endearing in a weird sort of way, but they are dumb as hell.
I don't even know if endearing is necessarily the right word. Like, you don't absolutely hate them, but they're also, like... Especially David Arquette is...
Yeah. Isn't it weird that, like, Scott Caan's character is the more on the level of the two?
Like he's, like, pretty chill, honestly.
Yeah.
I mean, like, obviously, you have to have like someone who's like more down to earth in order to make the buffoon like work. Because like if you just had like 2 completely just shitheads who are at the same level, it's stupid.
Yeah, I mean, he's the straight man role for as much as there can be a straight man role.
Yeah, like he's definitely the straighter of the 2.
Like they have a Merry Pippin dynamic from Lord of the Rings.
Yeah, no, that's very fair.
Or at least movie Merry and Pippin.
Yeah.
But Jimmy King admits, he does. I'm not gonna lie, I would love to take at least one more swing at that little turd bump. And then that's when Gordy decides to literally yank him off of the chair and like almost, he just puts him in a leg lock, almost puts him in a figure 4, almost.
Yeah.
And then that's just lights a fire under King's ass. He fucking beats the shit out of him, but them being wrestling fans, they're about it. They're like, come on, crown us. His finishing move is a double axe handle off the top rope, which he calls the crown. Please crown us. He knocks them both out with it. Shoot style crown. Hard way. Put them to fucking sleep. Okay?
King don't play around.
King does not play around. Then the next day, pours beer on their face. He's like, you know what? Let's go. I'm going to take you up on your offer. Let's go. So they just show up in New York for Nitro. They roll King up literally on a throne, but it's a porta potty throne.
A porcelain throne.
He's like, smells like poop in here. Little me thought Oliver Platt saying smells like poop in here. I fucking died. Do you remember? I forgot what they were called. Do you remember what were those little devices that recorded like 15 seconds of audio? Was it like yak backs or some shit?
Yeah, I think that's yak backs.
I had one of those, and I don't know why. Little stupid, weird, very niche fun fact about that Canon guy. I used my yak back to record certain lines from Ready to Rumble and would play it back. I would take it to school with me and just be like, smells like poop in here. And I'm like, yes! Breakfast pizza! Bring me another!
So that's just the young canon version of saying fatties fart too.
God. But they
if they went a little further, this could have become a fatty's part too.
Oh man, I love how if the diehard fans of the Cajun Greatness podcast who listen, they're listening to our deep,
everybody in this room.
Frank.
like our deep analysis of Ready to Rumble, and that guy that just got so mad that we didn't talk about Raising Arizona enough.
Yep.
I love how we'll be like, hey, this movie is so good we have nothing to say about it. But let's talk about this dog shit movie in detail.
Well, I'm sorry. I've waited 2 weeks for this. Y'all are going to have to fucking deal. Anyway, so we're there with Sinclair and DDP. They're about to shoot their opening promo for Nitro. And then DDP calls King a bum, and you don't call the King a bum. He busts through that porta potty. And I know this is a movie, okay? But I'm also thinking about this whole scene. This is a movie. You got to think about it as it, I guess, actually happening in that reality at that time. So right now, you have a real wrestling show where somebody just got snuck in a torta potty. Yes, I called it a torta potty. That's a bit nobody here will understand. I'll explain later. But he walks out and just beats the shit out of DDP on a wrestling show and gets a pin on him. I'm sorry, it's just great.
I mean, it's considering the state of WCW, I feel like that could have logically happened.
Yeah, considering all the
and they were like, oh, he's going against my plans, but this is fine television.
And this is what really kills me. WCW, God damn it, they brought in RoboCop to save Sting. They brought in Chucky to have a rivalry with goddamn Rick Steiner.
Yeah.
I mean, why not? Fuck it. Why not bring in Oliver Platt as the king? Let him learn how to fucking scoop slam a motherfucker a couple of times. That would have been rad.
I mean, he might not wanted to do it.
That's true.
Rose McGowan has talked several times about how much she fucking hated.
Oh, she loathed
everything about
doing this movie.
I remember reading she threw away the script 3 times.
3 times, because it's. Can't really blame her.
I mean,
Yeah.
I mean, it's something I was thinking of. Like, usually I'm not a fan of like dude bro comedy movies, but because I just remember growing up, there's just a glut of those in like the late 2000s, early 2010s. But there's just something about the chaotic energy of this movie that sort of just wraps back around for it to be like entertaining again. But I also know how, like I said earlier, someone can watch this film and just be like, this is fucking insufferable.
Yeah.
I do like the irony that most of us don't really care for the dude bro type comedy, and yet we've been accused of being a dude bro show.
I mean, I definitely understand how someone could think that, because this is just a bunch of
we're just dudes being dudes doing
just a bunch of like
We just guys being dudes.
Put that on a shirt. Dude bro show. We got called a dude bro show?
We have been called that.
Is that a comment?
Few times.
Is that one of our comments?
No, no one has the chutzpah to say it where it can be traced. But I've heard rumblings and mentions.
But obviously, like, that's a fair assessment, because someone can just this is just like for like dudes like talking about dude shit in like very like traditionally dude terms, and like that's that's their valid point if that's how they see it. I don't know what we can do to really dispute that. And plus, like, it falls into like that sort of gut of just like, this is like stupid man children like fucking up and like somehow making their way and like achieving something when like they're just like loser nobodies who are just good at nothing, and somehow they manage to succeed, which is probably really infuriating to a lot of people out there who are like, oh, we actually try, and they're just these people who dipshit who get elevated above their stations in life.
Yeah, but these are, fictional characters doing fictional things.
Well, fiction and reality have an interesting intersection to people, especially when that fiction looks a lot like reality in certain regards.
And I don't want to like gloss over. Like I forgot the one part before, like where they get a glimpse of the Nitro Girls.
Yeah, he's just standing there saying boobs, boobily boob.
Yeah,
boobs.
just literally every other word is just boob, boob, this, boob, that. That's naked, that's naked,
that scene
that's
felt
naked.
really uncomfortable. Like where they're just like leering into.
I can't imagine why Rose McGowan didn't like the film.
I mean, the blooper reel that was featured after the fact, you can like see it in Rose McGowan's eyes. She's like, I'm just done. Fucking pay me at this point.
It's definitely a paycheck movie for her, and I don't blame her.
But anyway, they come in there. But since it's not a sanctioned match, he's not the champion. But Sinclair's like, you know what? Fuck it. You want another shot at the belt? We'll do it. We're gonna do it in Vegas. And I'll even give you $1 million, which this part of the movie I never really noticed until tonight. It's very confusing, especially, in his delivery. He goes, you don't even have to win. All you have to do is survive. Well, but if you survive, you get this belt. I was like, well, if you survive, you get the belt. That means you win the fucking match. So are you saying that if he's still breathing at the end, you know what? I'll still give you the $1 million, but I don't fucking know.
I think they were working off the logic of like, I know this doesn't make sense, but this sounds cool.
I mean, it could be.
But I didn't think it sounded
Jimmy King. Jimmy King did mention at one point that he thought that Sinclair was trying to legitimately kill him. I think they were trying to legitimately kill him, which is so he was. I think Sinclair was doing that as a threat of like, look, we will actually try to kill you if you show up to this fucking thing.
Yeah, because I will say, that opening beating again with DDP, like when Jimmy King realized it wasn't a fucking kayfabe anymore. Like, you can hear, like, the lobbing punches of the sound effects. And he got his ass, like, well, not really, but, like, in that universe.
No, he was about to, he asked him to, it's just like, work me over, brother.
But, yeah, like, the whole time, like, Jimmy King is scared. Like, even when they're making this grudge match, he is like, no, whoa, don't want any part of it. No. They're over there. They're out there partying. Jimmy King's trying to prepare. He's like, he downs 2 shots and then tries to take down 2 eggs. And then immediately spits them out. It's like, hey, no goddamn way, baby. Just runs away and falls in a sewer hole. But, he's
literally
with the Dookie Twins. He's with the Dookie Twins, and they know how to track Dookie pipes, and they found him.
The Dookie?
Also, wait. The Dookie? One of the best parts in the movie. I think Jonathan actually might have missed this, but it was when Mean Gene Okerlund was, this is the part he's drunk as fuck, just doing a disco dance, and he looks over and King and goes, do people think I'm sexy? We miss you, Mean Gene. R.I.P. But and at this point, oh God, what was her name? Rose McGowan's name again? Sasha.
Yeah,
something. Like
Sasha shows up and is all about some Gordy all of a sudden for some reason.
It was like one of those things where like the movie actually got me. I'm like, there's no way this woman would be into this literal psychopath. And then it was like, it's because
it was a trick. It's like
which I don't know if that's better or worse
because this is the type of movie where like just hapless dipshit dude somehow like endears himself to like a smoking hot woman, in which like that happens in like all these dude bro comedies, but like. I was like, she was faking the whole time. Well, okay. Part of me thought while I was watching him trying to like,
it's kind of a lateral move,
trying to like spit game at Rose McGowan. It's like, is this how David Arquette wooed Courtney Cox? And I kind of feel like that was what it was.
I really hope not, because that was. But it's like, honey, you need to have better standards, because that was psychotic.
Walks up to Courtney Cox. Hey, do you like bananas? I heard you like bananas. I brought bananas because the flower store was closed.
But just on like this like trifecta of actors, because Rose McGowan Gunn and David Arquette in this movie. I sincerely believe that Ready to Rumble is actually the prequel to Scream.
Yeah, because they were siblings in Scream, and they fucking in this one.
Yeah, and spoiler alert, David Arquette becomes a cop at the end of the movie, and then he's a cop in Scream.
Yeah, I thought they were going to go ACAB, but
I mean, it was still a little.
it was kind of like, because especially his dad and his family
Or just like
they were acting like cops.
they're like rock hard about being cops, and literally they're like threatening him with violence, like pointing a gun at his
shooting
face.
refrigerators with his postcards.
Yes, his
on.
dad also says, "Hey, you're going to be a cop and only a cop, and if not, I'm basically going to shoot you." So yeah, that's his dad's mentality the whole movie. His sister's a cop, his mom's a cop, but
And it's like a slapstick comedy, though.
yeah, like you said, it's Looney Tunes.
There's so many points in this movie that's like, this feels like an R-rated Nickelodeon movie.
Yeah.
Yes,
That's
or like all the silly parts of a Terry Gilliam movie.
But how are we feeling about Martin Landau as a Sal Bandini, heavily inspired by a Stu Hart, obviously?
he was great, but
I love that character. He was
kind
funny.
of upset because Jack Palance was apparently the original guy they wanted for that.
Yeah.
Really?
And he would have been incredible. But Martin Landau was wonderful.
Yeah, he showed out for this role. It's like a small, like he was very entertaining. Like he's just like this wiry old man who just like he's really good at wrestling. He tries to like teach the king, the basics, and then
But because those old men you meet, and they're just like little old nothing, little hunched over, and then you shake their hands, and then they got those like grizzled old man hands.
Oh, yeah, old man
and
strength,
you're just like, you could kill me by just farting on me.
like literally they're like smashing walnuts with their hand, but then like every other moment they're just like they just got the rickets, like they're just shaking.
All right, we're gonna have to throw this up on social media. Apparently, during this podcast, Jimmy has been doodling a little Jimmy King over there on the legal pad. He just sent it in the chat. That's awesome.
It made me happy.
And speaking of Jimmy King, like I love how I love like his vocal tick of just like he says, I don't know about this, baby. Like how he ends every sentence with like baby.
Yeah.
Something about that bit like I thought was funny. I like that.
I mean, if Hogan says brother every 5 seconds, then yeah, I mean, makes sense. Jimmy King says baby.
But they take him to Sal Bandini so he can, learn the tools of the trade to get back to
Get back to basics.
fucking. But then of course, like we mentioned earlier, Sasha is actually in cahoots with Titus, and later on in the film, Sid Vicious and Perry Saturn sneak into Sal Bandini's house to attempt to hurt him. But Sal Bandini, he knows his shit and can apparently just fucking peer out of thin air.
Like instant fucking transmission.
He did have like trap doors and shit. Obviously, that was no.
great.
But he
like I said, this feels like Pink Panther, like the movies, not the cartoon.
and also, I'm going to give a little shine on Perry Saturn. I'm glad he got some lines in this movie.
Yeah, I love Saturn.
Yeah, I love Saturn too. He was, man, I really appreciated him. He too bad he got a little too angry at a jobber who didn't know what he was doing that one time.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
also, by the time this movie came out, he had already left the company.
Yeah, he was in WWF when this WCW movie came out.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, there was a lot of flippy floppies in his days, obviously, because this company was dead in less than a year at this point. But and also Perry Saturn, if I remember the story correctly, he saved a woman from a couple of like muggers, I believe, and got shot like twice and didn't know he was shot until after the fact.
Yes, that is correct.
Holy shit, what a beast of a man.
Yeah.
Goodness gracious. But anyway, they did get, unfortunately, Sal Bandini in the end, and they put him in the hospital, which apparently Sal in the hospital just makes him feel like a kid again. you know?
No, he was enjoying it.
like he's just like this wide motherfucker who's just like, you know what, I just love to scrap. So like he's just like, ha, this reminds me back of me being a kid, and it's like, yeah, he just loves the rumble.
But Sal is down for the count. At this point, Gordy has overheard Sasha talking to Titus over the phone, and he is done. And Jimmy King is done with trying to get a Butterfinger. But anyway, that was a funny.
I mean,
bit.
literally, we had a butter in the finger like earlier.
There's a bit Sal got a Butterfinger. He's like, oh, my favorite. And Jimmy King is eyeing that like it was the last goddamn Butterfinger on earth. He's like, oh, what? But anyway, they leave. They go back to their hometown so they can get a crew together. Wait a minute. When did they meet Goldberg? Did I glanced over that completely?
They go to try and get Goldberg because he needs the king needs a king's court.
Yeah.
And Goldberg says no. And then I think...
Then they had this little bit that's just basically my name is Earl, but for like 10 minutes.
Yeah, but the Goldberg thing, I think, was right before Sal got put in the hospital.
Yeah.
And then Sal gets put in the hospital. And then they go back to Wyoming to train.
Yeah, and then, but as soon as they get back, like Gordy's dad has a tracker bug up his butthole. He like rolls up and is like, "Get in the car, you're gonna be a cop," and so he goes away. And then Sean and the King, one final attempt, try to get him to come with him, but he's like, "No, I got to get rid of these childish things. I got to be an adult and be a police officer."
But really, what he was saying is like, bitch, have you seen this bomb ass room I got? With like a full like a whole ass couch, and those shelves were on point.
That was just somebody's fucking living room. It had to have been.
For real.
Yeah, like that was just like posted straight up. But anyway, it's time to go to Vegas. We're rolling off to Vegas, but the girl from the Burger Shack, Sean is like, he realizes, you know what? You've been really nice to me. I figured it's time for me to return the favor. I'm going to give you a Hard Rock Cafe shirt. And you know what she gives him in return?
Oh, yeah.
The vagina.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
They get in that RV and like...
And like I'm just like, I'm sorry, dude. Like when literally the whole town's like waving goodbye. It's like, goodbye, good luck, everybody. And then they drive away. He's like, hold on, we gotta let this naked girl out.
Yeah, like I was like, holy shit!
They just drop her ass out in the road.
It's like, could you at least let her get her clothes back? Like, goddamn.
But didn't he also say he had a shot of
Scott Con's ass?
I'm guessing shot Scott Conn was like, okay, he's the looker of the two. You need to show his whole butt.
All right, we're here. We're at the main event. We're at the home stretch. All right. Sean rolls up in one of the finest looking red pimp daddy suits.
I mean, yeah, he's got the zoot suit
so
game
nice.
covered.
It was like the way that tie looked and the way it hits with the vest. It was just it was good.
For real.
Good.
As
Fresh and
a
so clean,
lifelong fan of ska and like big band type swing music, if I could get away with that suit, that's all I would ever fucking wear.
I don't see why anybody couldn't get away with that suit.
Because it's ridiculous and impractical.
What's stopping people from wearing pinstripe suits again?
The fact that fucking incel assholes have taken the trilby and made everybody think it's a fedora because they don't know how to differentiate hats. So now people associate dressing like the 50s and 60s with fuckboys in their mom's basement who want to go back to a time where women weren't allowed to vote, even though it's just a fashion statement.
Cool. I'm going to do it anyway because fuck them. I'm taking it back.
Or insofar as like if they think just wearing the hat and a fucking Dragon Ball the t-shirt is like that's enough to give them like class. No, you got to put the whole ensemble together.
Wait, no, you got to complete the ensemble with a mall katana.
Look, all I'm going to say
Also,
is,
the cargo shorts, a chain mullet, and substitute maybe the Dragon Ball Z shirt with a London
as
shirt.
someone who recently wore a pinstripe suit jacket to a wedding, I'm going to say let's just say our table at the wedding, definitely the best dressed of the whole bunch.
Oh yeah, we were all fly as shit. But honestly, Cannon, you were fly as fuck.
Thank you.
That was a good look for you, Ken. Also, I think it's a great look for your OC Batman villain character.
Oh yeah.
And I have dubbed him Pinstripe.
I like it.
Is there a character named Pinstripe?
No.
Really?
Not that
Are
I'm
you
aware of.
shitting me?
Now, okay, but
I'm
like,
shocked at that.
what's your gimmick? Like, what do you do to like kill people? Like,
Apparently, I'm gonna wear a pinstripe suit and I'm an incel, according to Justin.
No.
Batman's gonna put you in a cell.
I'm kidding.
That's the difference. Like wearing the suit, because I own 3 fedoras.
Yeah.
Legitimate fedoras, crushable felt fedoras.
Yeah.
I bought them from villagehatshop.com, not a sponsor. But I only wear them with the matching suits that I have.
Yeah.
Because that's you gotta look fucking fly, right?
You want? I will let you in on something that made me blood boiling mad during already something that I didn't really enjoy doing. At least my short excursion with Survivor Series, I forgot about Baron Corbin. There's a moment in my life where I forgot Baron Corbin was a thing. And then I was reminded on Sunday night that Baron Corbin, well, now Happy Corbin, apparently, whatever the fuck that is.
Well, because he was broke for a while, it seems. And then he got rich in Vegas, and now he's Happy Corbin.
I will, God damn it, I can't believe I am giving that douche nozzle a compliment. But that, almost, what was the character in Mortal Kombat with the
Kung Lao?
Kung Lao-esque fedora hat he had? Jesus Christ, that was fly as fuck. Everything else about you is raggedy. You raggedy ass bitch.
Whack.
You know what I think my favorite wrestling outfit might be, legitimately?
What's that?
Flash Funk. So when Too Cold Scorp was in WWE.
I don't. Was it like a suit scenario?
Yeah, pretty much.
If I remember correctly.
Flash, you are so funky. That's how his song started. And then it was just funky as hell.
I love how Scott Kahn's ensemble during the main event brought us into a full-blown conversation about clothes. I love it. I love this show.
And then we
Anything
circle
can
back.
happen.
There's also Scott Conn caught on fucking fire because his suit's made of polyester.
I mean, it's hard for me to keep track of the small funny bits that I love about this movie, but this is also one of them. He's like, this is when he finds out it's not just a cage match. It's a triple cage match. The point of the belt, the title belt, is hanging above this triple stack cage, and the point is for you to get up there. First one to retrieve the belt wins the match, and it's literally for all of you wrestling fans out there that will know what the fuck I'm talking about. It's the Hell in a Cell, and then a slightly smaller cage on top of that, and then a teeny tiny cage on top of that, which strangely enough, this isn't WCW's first hurrah at a triple cage. The first one was even worse than this. It was a pay-per-view that happened in Mississippi, I believe. And it was bad. They had the cage set up in the stage area. So,
That's not good.
So the fans who are around the ring had to focus on a triple cage match that was happening in the stage area now. And this was before the big screens and shit that showed people what was going on in the nosebleeds. Yeah, it was bad. They ultimately said, fuck it, we're just going to take everybody and go to the ring now. It was very bad.
That sounds terrible.
Yeah. Thank you. Shout out to OSW for bringing that match to my attention.
It is funny how, with some opinions of the movie, they made wrestling in WCW more fun than the actual product with the movie.
I will say, I like the idea of the triple cage. WCW even had brought this exact cage in a couple of times, even though, again, this was dying WCW and it was trash.
That's how Russo lost the belt.
Yeah, he got speared through it, I think.
Yeah.
Which, yeah, I guess that counts, I suppose. But anyway, we're there, and one of my funny bits, Jimmy King's telling Sean, hey, all right, triple cage, baby. Get ready. Make sure that posse's on standby. And then he gets closer to the ring. He's like, watch out for the pyro. He's like, what? I can't understand you. And then the pyro explodes and his fucking legs are on fire. I said, watch out for the pyro. And then, goddamn, this had the quickest fucking entrances in the history of wrestling.
Oh, yeah.
I don't even think the ramp was as long as this table. Maybe even shorter.
It wasn't big.
And then it's before they even get into the ring, fucking Michael Buffer's like, or was it Mean Gene? I don't fucking
No, it was Michael Buffer.
Yeah, Michael was
Mean Gene was the announcer in the first go round.
Which is hilarious to me that they got Michael Buffer to do this movie because, the movie's called Ready to Rumble. The WCW brought in Michael Buffer to do sometimes he would do full cards. I know towards the end he would do, I guess, main events.
Mostly Goldberg matches.
Really? They limited him just to Goldbergs?
Well, because usually Goldberg was main event.
That's true. And he would do his signature catchphrase, let's get ready to rumble. Now, what is it, $25,000 he gets paid every time he says that?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he owns the rights to that phrase.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So, but what gets me is, he didn't even say his catchphrase. So that means the money to pay him to say his catchphrase wasn't in the budget or some shit. He doesn't say, let's get ready to rumble. He goes, we are ready to rumble.
It could have been a perpetuity rights thing.
Probably. But we're here. Ding, ding, ding. And then in true WCW in 2000 fashion, well, WCW in many years, it's not just singled out to 2000. But WCW was very keen on overbooking the shit out of a lot of things. And this match, now, for movie's sake, it was great. Overbooked this to hell and fucking back. Just like people left and right coming in the ring. And then you think Jimmy King's down for the count. And then what? Fucking Gordy shows up in a cop outfit, full cop regalia, and drives his motorcycle into the arena, into the ring. Just fucking, oh my God. Mwah. Couldn't have fucking booked it even better, Dano. And it's like, just imagine the logic there. Like, they had to book the pyro for that. They were like, wait, this guy that just showed up out of nowhere, how did you get this outfit? Where did you get a cop bike? Are you even a police officer? Fuck it. Let's let him in the match at this point. They already have Jimmy King's son under the ring dressed up as some sort of like Korn/Electro cosplay for some reason.
Which was actually based off the David Flair betrays Ric Flair storyline.
Gross. They did it twice.
Yeah.
But yeah, the shenanigans ensue. Gordy is in the house. And then, oh man, let's talk about the scene where Shauna wants to get back with Gordy. And then gets just bitch slapped with a whole ass ladder.
Look, it's terrible. It's violence. Very, very. It was like mean spirited violence against this woman.
Yeah,
but the comedic timing was just so goddamn perfect. You can't help but laugh.
Yeah.
And then like
where you're just like
in the movie, yes, she's a heartless bitch who's apparently based off of Kimberly Page.
Really?
That's
wow.
what the IMDb says. She's like, she's terrible. And like, oh, now that you're a big thing, Gordy, hey, let's get back together. He's like, I can never trust you again. And then a ladder just fucking out of nowhere knocks her ass on the ground. Like, her eyes are dead, glazed over.
Well, like, I honestly think she's dead.
Yeah. Like in the movie canon,
like
she
in
died.
the movie, they killed her. It's like, what the
No, see, this is what happens. Like, this is how we leading the scream. She gets bopped in the head with the ladder. It erases her memory, so she thinks she's Jordy's brother or sister. And then that's how he becomes a cop in a small town. Like, it all makes fucking sense.
I just can't understand why Rose McGowan didn't appreciate this film.
It makes...
Now that makes complete sense.
Yeah. But like, what? You're telling me you don't want to
How
do this?
she may not have been a fan of this production.
But,
Yeah, it might have mirrored to real life a little too well.
But we're fast forwarding. We got both men on top of the cage, right? And then DDP just slings King down to the first cage. It's like, there's no way he's going to get back up there and get the belt in time, right? Earlier in the movie, there was a scene that I forgot to mention where Titus Sinclair is having a discussion with Sting. Yes, it's so good.
I apologize to your ear.
For a fun fact, we do that every time Sting shows up.
Yes, like you have to.
Yeah,
it's
no.
law.
Us
You get
and
arrested
Shivani,
if you
yeah.
don't. Okay,
Like, it's in Shivani's contract. He has to say that on commentary.
Which, as an aside, that's something that surprised me. Like I'm used to Tony Schiavone being like a lead commentator for it, but he seemed like he was like more the color announcer to the other fella there.
Well, Tenay was always more the play-by-play guy,
Oh, yeah.
especially on Thunder.
so yeah, in canon that actually makes sense.
Yeah.
So like,
what I said, I
as
actually
someone
missed
who's
my
never
Tenay.
seen Nitro, like
No, that's fair. Like Tenay was actually like really good at like just calling in solid in-ring action.
Yeah.
Like he knew his shit. Like that's why he was like in TNA for as long as he was, I suppose.
Yeah, and then you had guys like, they'd had Larry Zbyszko, Bobby Heenan as like the real color commentators, like the ones who were just clearly yelling about things. And Shivani was always more like it's a lot like his role now, like the enthusiast who's good at announcing the things that are going to happen, where Tenay would just call the matches.
Yeah.
Tenay was Excalibur, essentially.
yeah.
But Titus Sinclair earlier in the movie has a conversation with Sting in this dark room, and he basically says, "Hey man, I will kill you if you fuck this up." So he's like, "Hey, you're helping DDP get over in this match," but fucking Sting ain't no bitch, and he works alone. You don't fuck with the vigilante like that. You don't talk to the man who single-handedly took out the NWO with a baseball bat.
That's right.
Yeah, on numerous occasions. Man, Sting in a bat is goddamn, can take out more people than... I'm not going there. Anyway, then Vince McMahon firing his talent. Thanos snapping his own company out of existence.
But then
things have been going.
But then on Survivor Series opening shot, he comes out in a Stretch Hummerzine where he has his remaining talent.
Oh God!
Cheer as he arrives. And
Thanks for not firing me, boss. God damn it!
God, it was so uncanny. All the skits they had last night made me so uncomfortable.
Oh, and they were also plugging The Rock's fucking Netflix movie, The Red Nose, with a fucking $100 million egg. With that bit didn't even get solved within the story of the pay-per-view.
Yeah.
Yeah, but they were apparently continuing that on Raw tonight.
Fuck WWE.
That's where the fan was actually there to get the egg.
I did it for The Rock.
But Sting's like, you know what? He comes out the rafters in true Sting fashion and kicks DDP off the cage, brings him right down to King's level. And now they're both crawling back up to the top. And then inevitably, King scoop slams DDP through all three cages. DDP is dead on the ground at this point. He's not dead. He walked away. It's wrestling. Dead. He's not dead. That's not how wrestling works. But King's got the belt. He's now $1 million richer, and all is well in the world. And then we get back to the closing scene, back at the truck stop where Sean Sugar Daddy Dawkins. That's a good name, by the way. That is a damn good name.
It's like Sugar Shane Helms. Just a damn good name.
Yes, fucking Grody. Wait, am I saying his name right now?
Gordy.
God damn Grody. What the fuck?
You're thinking Gordy Mallrats.
Gordy, whatever his last name was, a.k.a.
That pig?
Gordy Boggs.
The only cop I'm cool with, damn it. I will bust you. And I love the scene where his dad is just yucking it up at his son, just like doing what he loves, even though he hated it originally. He's like, that's my fucking boy, which means a cop bought that pay-per-view. Yeah. He's like, turn that shit off. It's like, fuck you, these are expensive.
Yeah. No, it's a full-on classic father-son face turn for that one.
And then we get the scene where the kids are like, it was all a fluke. It's only a one-time deal, blah, blah, blah. And then, like, Goldberg looked like Booker T and I think Kidman. Goldberg just launches Ahmet Zappa through the store window. and then we just get the end credits, and then we get us a little blooper reel.
Yeah,
back when movies used to do that.
Yeah, I miss blooper reels, goddammit.
Also, apparently DDP pitched a scene to go in there where King comes back and he and DDP make up. It's like, welcome to the business, boys. And DDP's not a total shithead.
I would have actually, at least shoot the scene so you can make it an extra.
I thought that would have been really cool.
That would have been rad, yeah.
He talked about that in a U-shoot like years ago. Yeah. But he had pitched like an extended or alternate ending where he's like, they earned his respect.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd have been nice.
But he plays it like, I'm back for revenge, but then like, haha. And plus, like, didn't they had maybe planned for there to be a sequel?
They were working on it.
Apparently.
And then a company died.
And wasn't there like a rumor about like Jeff Jarrett being mad about not being in the movie, but when the movie was being shot, there was no way he wasn't even in WCW when the movie was being shot.
Well, Jarrett's just always mad, so.
Yeah. By the way, speaking of Jarrett, oh my God, I forgot the channel name, but somebody did the memes, what have you, about Perk Angle. Somebody did a video chronicling that entire era of Kurt Angle in TNA, and oh my God, fuck TNA. Like, the man was going, like, first of all, like, God damn it, the man has been through it all. He won a gold medal with a broken freaking neck. He had a broken freaking neck in TNA. The dude was taking like 65 fucking pills just to function.
Yep.
He was hurting and still working every goddamn day.
Some say his neck is broken to this day.
Not only that, he's having real marital problems with his wife that TNA's like, hey, let's make it a storyline.
Oh yeah, like that is gross.
And then has a real ass divorce. Jeff Jarrett really marries his fucking ex-wife, gets his kids involved in a storyline next. And I'm just like, fucking A.
Because I know like there's like times when like the kayfabe real life when they like when those lines blur, that's interesting. But when he gets into like personal shit, like that's really fucking uncomfortable.
Perk Angle, Scott Hall's alcoholism, Jake's alcoholism, like all those were things that I did not appreciate seeing. Like I don't think anybody really did. It was terrible.
Yeah, like even as a kid, like I remember seeing like the Scott Hall bits, and like even I was just like, this is just like gross. Like, why would you do that?
This feels exploitative.
Yeah, I didn't even know what
Just
that
a
word
little
meant at the
bit.
time. I was just like, that feels like that E word that Jimmy just said. But I don't mean to get on a downer note, but all in all, like I am actually shocked at how everyone feels about it. I'm even shocked at your score. Your reaction, I was on the fence about. I was like, it could go either way. I feel.
I was expecting a 1. I was expecting
From Jonathan?
Yeah,
Really?
I was expecting John to 8.
I wasn't thinking that low.
Like for as many problems as I had, like you know, some of like weird things here or there, like the one scene where like they find King and he's in like a dress and stuff. That was a little weird. But
It's like it's just gonna be like a weird like.
And there was this one
That
line
was just
where
him pretending to be his wife in case somebody came in to try and kill him.
yeah, like there was a
was
way
played
out,
off.
but it was still kind of like, ugh.
It's like this could turn into like transphobic real quick.
Yeah, it's just like. I'm watching you.
Watch your ass.
And then like before Sean, like I'm even gonna shit talk in this movie, and I love this movie. There's the part where he the girl that really likes him, but I guess she's like one of the guys or something, and then he says like, oh, that's gay. I'm just like, what does that even mean?
Yeah.
Like I'm so confused right now. Like
And they drop like the R bomb in there too.
It's definitely 2000.
it's a product of its time.
Yeah, 100%.
Like it's definitely a something.
But like, but despite all that, there really wasn't anything like super duper terrible about it.
Yeah.
It's just kind of like a mismanaged movie.
And I'm going to say it before we cut it off. I do want to give major props, and again, RIP to Chris Canyon. He did like all the stunt work for Jimmy King. We mentioned it earlier, Chris Canyon never got the fucking credit he deserved. He was like a great worker. I was lucky enough to watch a good chunk of his work in WCW when he was in the Flock and all that. And even when he came over to the Invasion, he's like, yeah, who better than Cam? Like, it's fucking Canyon. Give him something to do, man.
They were gonna right up until Taker found out he was gay, and then Taker killed his push.
You see, I didn't know that until the Dark Side of the Ring episode.
God,
I cannot fucking believe they did that.
Dark Side of that episode. I mean, Dark Side always fucks you up, but that really fucked me up.
Yeah.
Like that one almost.
I knew
brought me
that
to
one was going to be
tears.
rough, but again, I loved and appreciated Canyon, and again, you got to hand it to him. Like in the Bucks, they even said it in that Dark Side. This movie is the greatest professional wrestling movie of all time. If anything, just for hell, even looking back at some of the bumps that Canyon was taking in this movie, like he was ragdolling fuck.
Like he landed on his neck like 4 or 5 times.
Yeah, he put in the work for all the like stuntmen, like Sugar Shane Helms, whatever other wrestlers did work on there, unless you're an asshole.
So, like Scott Cannon doing his own stunts. I mean, like that's impressive. Usually they don't let you do that because like. If you're the lead guy and you get hurt, that just stops the whole movie.
I feel like he has to be a wrestling fan to want to do, because that suplex he hit on, I'm assuming that was Shane Helms.
Yeah, it's probably Shane.
That was nice.
Pretty good.
It was good.
He looks like he could be a professional. In another world, Scott Cannon could be and be out there in the squared circle.
But all in all, like even as someone who watched this movie, if I had to guess, maybe 2 or 3 years ago for the first time in a long time, I know it's not great. It's not even good, but
My God,
as Jimmy would say, I unabashedly love this fucking movie. I have a great time with it. And if anything, I'll take this movie over all of the dying days of WCW.
Well, yeah, I mean that's a no-brainer.
Yeah. Even by Steiner math, it's a no-brainer.
Got 100.
Also, I think this movie needs to cut Warhorse a check because they said ruled ass about 3 or 4 times, and that's kind of his bit. Or he
probably
got it from this, but like,
I'm pretty sure he straight stole it from this. And I
but then also, I'm just going to say, cut or Warhorse a check.
That being said,
more Warhorse.
We have to say, Young Bucks, Tony Khan, Oliver Platt, David Arquette, Criterion Collection. I mean it when I say it. The world needs at least a Blu-ray copy of this movie. At least, I'm not even asking for a fancy. Just make it happen, Captain.
Make it a two pack with the David Arquette documentary.
That would be nice. I think the only copy of this movie on Blu-ray I have ever seen, and it was like a picture online years ago, was in a 2-pack with something. I can't tell you what the other one was. It was nothing wrestling related.
Probably Eight-Legged Freaks.
Food fight.
No, I can tell you for a fact it wasn't Food Fight, but I would have bought it though.
Some other terrible David Arquette movie.
Hey, I love Eight-Legged Freaks and this movie.
I do too. They're terrible though, but I love them. Yeah.
There's a Blu-ray of Eight-Legged Freaks. I think Shout Factory recently just did a new restoration of that one, if I remember correctly.
Huh.
And they can restore Eight-Legged Freaks. They can restore.
Like hell, Shout Factory, Scream Factory. I don't care who. We got to get this done. Caging greatness. Now I'm speaking for us all here.
Okay.
We need it. We need it.
We will be the flag bearer of this movement.
If I make this happen, then I will just retire from life.
And this is how we'll get the 19,800 follows we need on social media to start our own cameo.
See, exactly. We get the groundswell going to get us the 4K Ultra HD 1080p version of Ready to Rumble, and that just endears us, and that's how we get it. It's part of our 12-step plan.
First we get Ready to Rumble, then we get the followers, then we get the khakis, then we get the chicks.
Yes.
That's how it works.
I already forgot what movie that's from.
Basketball.
Oh,
Starring
damn.
the creators of South Park. Which I adore that movie. It's terrible and so dumb, but I fucking love it.
No, that movie's hilarious.
Question, it's like Ready to Rumble, cameo, question mark, profit.
Oh man!
Right.
Everyone, make it happen, Captain.
Yeah. And we did well, like because this is it. Like this is our limit for chunks of show. So let's get the plugs out of the way and call it a night. John, my friend, my poopy butt friend,
My pee pee poo poo full diaper. Yeah, you can follow me on Twitter at JONIIBY24 and John Johnson 12 on Letterboxd.
This is Patrick. Thank you all for listening. Follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and Letterboxd at John Lost His Name. My art on Facebook at John Lost His Name. If you've listened to the week it comes out on Monday, we release episode 239 of All You Can Hear podcast where Cannon blessed us with a brand new game show of his own devising, that cameo game where your pals at AYCH try to figure out how much stars of all different stripes and colors charge for personalized videos, and it is a damn good time.
that was fun.
I'm really glad everyone had a good time with that one. I had a blast getting it together for everyone. I did. and I had a fun being the host too.
Because it was pretty much just the cast of Caging Greatness and Colt.
Yeah.
Yep.
So, I don't care what we got to do. We're getting his ass in here live for the next one.
Yeah.
And Tanner, he's taking another break. He's a little under the weather, so there will be no new late takes this week, but he'll be back in order soon after, so you can look forward to more late takes from him.
Well, I take back what I said about not talking shit about him. People need content. We need followers.
We gave him a week off for his wedding. Goddamn, what more does he need?
And I have been That Cannon Guy. You can find me at That Cannon Guy on Twitter, Instagram, and Letterboxd. And Tanner, get better, you bitch. We got a podcast to record.
That's right. And of course, I'm Captain Shimmy. You can follow me at Captain Shimmy's Kind of Art, Captain Shimmy's Almost Music. Check out the Caging Greatness merch store at tpublic.com/user/Caging Greatness. We got a lot of cool stuff on there, adding some things here and there. Got a lot more in the pipeline for Christmas season once I get around to doing it. And yeah, come by the comic strip and say hello and buy something expensive for Christmas. Why not? Just do it. Do it. Do it. And yeah, thank you all for listening, and go watch Ready to Rumble. And we will see you next week with The Pest.
Oh, yeah.
no.
Leguizamo Day.
So excited. So excited.
And Phenom X.
Merry Christmas, assholes.
Mary Chrysler.
Happy birthday to me.
Yeah.
It was 2 weeks ago at this point.
I want to die.
Or is it? I don't know. Fuck it. It's been a week, maybe. I don't know. I don't know how time operates. And time's not real.
Time is a construct.
Yes.
And definitely with podcasting, time doesn't really matter because you just make one thing and then it goes into the can and then you just keep going.
What did Otto think of the movie? Shit.
Otto, what do you think as you hit your vape pen?
Hit it to me straight. I don't care, Otto. Tell
He
me.
seemed to dig it.
Huh?
He was mildly positive.
Yeah, he's on it. Otto's on his happy side, and he's not even like scrunched up in the middle between his happy and his mad side. So he's definitely unhappy.
You can hit 8 DDTs at once.
Yeah. Just don't give him a mic. His Twitter is worse than Tanner's.
Yeah, we had to take exactly control Otto's Twitter.
Oh, all right. Goodbye, everybody.
Good night, everyone.
Good night.
Bye.